Well, it certainly wasn't a lot. Went across the street, only had this red bin with barely had anything in it. Got a bunch of little brass and stuff, and some door handles, a couple things like that need to be taken apart, and a little bit of steel, and then some iron pipes out there that have a bunch of brass fittings on it. Let's see if I can get those brass fittings off. So this video will be a quick sorting, because there's not a lot to go through. First, and this CD is a 2-disc set. It's called Steel City Aggression. I don't know if all the songs on here are from bands from Southwest PA, Pittsburgh. I have no idea. Clear these cans out of here. I think it's Bloodhound game again. Yeah, there might be one more in there. This song is actually on another little... Oh, you know what? This may not be that one. This may be like that little nine song CD. I heard the small fucking place. So here's one of the pipes. Or this is here. I mean, that's brass. I don't know about that. That might be brass. And then I have some other ones that have like some silver fittings. You really can't see it. That's what I can get. What I can get taken apart out of these. I mean, although those are steel bars, steel tubes, they're easy grabs. 5, 8 pounds each. 5 pounds maybe. Monkey. All right. Grab that thinking it was stainless. It's not. I didn't need any of the tool pack. And tomorrow, my wife agreed to go with me. I grab these because these are just quick and easy steel. Those. Not a whole lot in them. Get that apart. Aluminum. aluminum wire, some more aluminum wire. There's the other can. Steel. Nothing in it. Well, I looked that up. It's like $15, $20 for just the replacement case. I'll keep it. Sell it. Steel. Yeah, another one of these things. But I've got a different place. I gotta find something to cut these a lot better. I was using my snips. It takes quite a bit of work. This plastic is easy to break. Then I can just get brass for those. Oh, that's steel. All right, kids, close your ears. About to make some naughty sounds. All right, get this so it's not all pokey out. I think those nails are stainless. Or the pin bolts. There's like 5 of these. All right. That fun is done. So a lot of this wire, what I do with the, it's already put away. That's probably aluminum. Might not be. It is. I mean, a little steel pin, but good enough. Some thin, shielded wire that's strippable. This stuff, no, I'm not worried about that. So tomorrow, yeah, we'll There you go. It's not magnetic. It's not aluminum. That's aluminum wire. That's aluminum wire. Brass Cerrone. Too thin to worry about. Steel like these. Alright, so that is processed down later. Of course, when that goes in straight aluminum, fucking tired of opening the door. They just run out and walk back in 2 minutes later. Aluminum. I know these are. I keep finding these with a bunch of these spark plugs and air filters. So these are going to be a steel outer, but it's quick and easy grab. Aluminum. I don't know what this remote is. Deluxe. 3 AA batteries to run this remote. I'll look that up. Brand new. So there was always tons of used ones. This was made 1.4. So a ton of used ones. I mean, I probably could get the used ones, but they would just end up. I mean, it's not a whole lot. There was new. How about that? I didn't get the used ones. I can only talk about what I got. Press the set down later. So I tinkered with locks the other day, and I'm starting to get a little better at them. So if there's a quick and easy way how to take these apart, brass and aluminum, a little bit of steel, brass. We'll keep all the non-steel separate. That's just one big cast. It's aluminum. It's not brass. Brass. Bunch of brass handles, brass pipe. All that's not. Well, it's plastic. I'll have to look at it. Oh, that one is. Aluminum. Good solid wire to strip. Yeah, just all. Aluminum. Good wire. Break that in a minute. Give that. All right, so in order to get this, so I would just get this entire, all these little spurlings and things. Oh, there we go. And I just had a steel shell. Then get the sockets over here. What is this? Yep, probably half. Seven's too much. now I have a little steel container. Oh. I don't think that's even coated. That's straight up copper. Yeah. Cool. I gotta get that one. It might be those two screws right there. Might be another one under that. So we're gonna need that socket. Might even be this one. Be nice if it is. Nope. One's two. Oh yeah. 5/16. So about an 8-9 mil. There it is. That is a 8. Brass. Brass. There'll be some brass, some silver in here. Don't ask, it's on the CD. Pretty heavy. Yeah, I think it's the Steel City Aggravated or Aggravation or something. No? Shows that it's like right there. Yeah. So, I mean, figure it's that. I have no idea. YouTube will copyright this video anyhow, and I'll find out who it is. Ah. Okay. No scary Bruce? I think that's silver. I'll tell you. It came up in a, it was in a box for a Tag Heuer watch. In the trash. The watch was not in the trash, just the box. My wife is up there, probably like. There's some R&B playing on a compilation CD I was playing the other day. Wife comes down, thinks that I'm turning a new leaf. I'm starting to listen to a bunch of R&B. I'm not. So she's gonna hear this, be like, "Oh, you're turning a new leaf? Turning over a new leaf, huh? Listen to some thrash metal. I don't know what kind of metal this is. Thrash, hardcore. I don't know what kind it is." But one of the four people, I don't know how well you guys can hear it, but it's pretty heavy. I am more than welcome to stop talking so you guys can hear it, and I can turn it up. One of them. That's copper. Yep. I think I have to dig my way down. It's good because I'd have to take everything off anyhow. Eventually. These other screws are probably brass. The one's holding the wire down, I'll find out later. Yeah. I think that's brass. I don't think that's it. You have to get a better something to get into that. Process later. Yeah, whatever's going on, it's pretty heavy music. Yeah. I got most of that off of there. I just kind of set. Oh, this thing. Another one of those. Wire is wired. I don't remember what I did with the other one. Yeah, there's just a couple real small, real. I wonder if they're gold plated. But they have a magnetic attraction to it. Fair enough. got most of that wire anyhow. Separate this steel. That almost, I mean, that looks aluminum. Can't pull a magnet twice. Minus those things right there. One more. Definitely not as heavy as the other songs. I have plenty more of those to do. I'm not going to keep doing that. I have a scale around the table somewhere. And I haven't put away any of the brass. I'm just going to get like this stuff here and like a scale of what I got for brass. I mean, a little bit, but that transformer, I'm still going to have to get some more from that transformer or from the breaker. Actually, I'll just weigh up non-ferrous. No, because I have, I'll just, I don't know. Never mind. Good idea while it lasts. I mean, it's a little chunk for just going right across the street and then going to the couple businesses. The one primarily where the generator installer was at. They didn't have much. That's where I got this other wire from. But it was still like that big chunk of copper right there. That's where that came from. Nice little piece of copper. That doesn't include the copper pipes, copper rods. The solid, probably half-inch copper rods, maybe 10 feet of it. That I've gotten past a couple times I've gone there. And then tomorrow, doing the little business route right behind, right from I have to go left instead of straight. And then that back there is like 40 dumpsters. A little bit out of each of them. Same principle when I go out and I go, I mean, I went sourcing today. Matter of fact, is what I did today. So I already had the disc media all loaded up in the car. So I took that down to the exchange. They gave me $47 for like 26 or 28 pins. Then I came back and I scanned everything for World of Books, and that's another $27 for I think 22 things. And Eagle Saver wasn't working right, so I wasn't going to bother. And then I might tomorrow, but here very soon, probably next week, we'll take those boxes of disc media up to half price. And go get my $4 from them for a bunch of stuff. Because they just take whatever, they just buy whatever they want to buy. And then whenever you get your little certificate on how much you got, and then they throw everything else away. So, I mean, at least they keep the valuable stuff. They're just helping to have less common stuff in circulation. And how many half-price books are there? I got that Phillips out, so I wouldn't have to do this. Okay. I'll look at it in a minute. Full piece of the brass and the hardware. We're going as. Plastic. this thing. There you go, you just smash up with a freaking hammer. They doing it like that. That stuff just breaks so easily. Besides these doorknobs and stuff. Like that. A couple more of these things. This is that's copper. Because that one I can get those open with the razor blade. That's a completely independent ring. It is. Looking at that in a bit. There's gonna be brass in there. kill, where is that? Somewhere around here. Never. I'll keep some.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Some of that. Yeah, I know that one. Like it's carpet. That was a little bit of contamination. Here, that's some paper, right? Mostly. That's not. Now this thing. Right. I might. Um, might have a bit flathead. Spooky. Well, I can't do. See what I can salvage. Is that on a stack of another one?
It was in the row under the table.
I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet. 'Cause there's another one out in there.
Yeah, I already have Pink Friday, but I've been looking for Roman Reloaded.
If it anything, it's probably like $15.
So can I have it?
No idea why these people are so angry. That'll work. To some degree. good. Not losing any of it. It's only plastic. Cool. That is Moose. Try those pipes outside. And this keyboard. That part's good, right? Under that. Oh, steel. Brass. That sounds like aluminum. Copper. See how many I can get off of that. My wife has to.
What CD are you playing?
It's called Steel City Aggravation or something like that.
Okay.
Racist bigot. Well, it sounded like it said racist bigot. I'm not sure. about that one. Num, num. So that 4 or 5 pounds of non-ferrous, and then whatever else is here. Not, oh, aluminum brass. And then those spray nozzles out there. Oh yeah, that's it. what that one's going to be. I doubt I can hold and bend that. It bent a little. That's steel too. Close enough. I haven't thrown anything in for the steel that we've got caught up on. Shouldn't for that. Well, wish I could get more out of that. Galvanized aluminum. That will. That will. Yeah, a lot of these I'm just not gonna like really extra kick down into. Yeah. That one's heavy. Yeah, sure, usually they are. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a dense aluminum. It's heavy though. Brass. So I just want to conclude what is brass and what is not. We'll do it another day. Brass. That's really light aluminum. All right, let me bear bright in here. Barely. Aluminum for these. Aluminum for that. Yeah. White color. Silvery white color. Aluminum. Very bright. Take that out. Put that with the bear bright. All right, let's. I brought one of those in. Right here. A couple pounds of brass and all that. I don't think I'm going to with this ring. Yeah, it's gonna require quite a bit more. So the only thing that would be, I mean, it's a nice brass fitting. What's this guy talking about, man? I gotta find my other magnet. That's a different fitting right there. That's one I could get to. Yeah, be a nice piece to get. Put it out there for a while. See what happens. I think it's deep rolls. Not gonna fit in there. Okay. Biggest socket. Well, I can move the other pipe, which is not the one I want to move. There we go. Brass. So I wonder. I wonder. I can take it off, put it in the vise. Doesn't sound right, but here goes that. I think this is copper. We'll find out. It is not. I guess it makes it more manageable size. Oh, there's other well, nuts on there. Let's see if those are at least just on that one. I can probably get the vise, bring it in. Let me get the satellite apart. Oh, we got someone in here. Cool. What? No. It's called micro scrapping. I just went out to the dumpsters around here, right around the corner from me. And pick the stuff up out of the dumpster. And in micro scrapping, you want to break it down as much as you possibly can. No, it's been many, many of years since I've done any of that. grab it. If that was the case, I would have made sure I had the right tool. Or I would have already had like 30 of them over here, and I would have been polishing them down, cleaning this up. I would have got a yellow marker and colored that back up. Sit here and try to get all the rust off that with a toothpick. Yeah, that's what I would be doing if that was the case. And inside of these satellite dishes, this whole dish part itself is just a pain in the ass, just in the way. Everything else on it is steel. Until you get down to the actual receiver part, which is it's all cast aluminum, and then there's a gold flashing circuit board on there. I think gold flash circuit boards are $30 a pound or something. And it's probably like 2 ounces, but this will be the third one of these I've taken apart. The other one is much smaller. One of the other ones. That's all steel. Oh, it's probably been a decade since I've seen any of that stuff. All right, well. I'm not gonna have this big old luggy thing in the way. What about my other magnet? Would have been a lot louder than that. So I go out. I may look around in the dumpsters around here, or I may end up with some other oddball things throughout the week. But so far, past couple weeks, weekends, I've been going down to the couple businesses right here. And what I got today, it doesn't take long to process the amount of stuff that I got today. Man. Forgot all about the other stuff. Wired wire here. This thing just pops off. It should. Aluminum. Steel. Brass. Okay, how I got the last one up? Go. Then under here is the cold flashing port. You gotta get under all that. Cold flashing. Nada. There's a whole other board underneath all this. Sounds like something Rage Against the Machine would play. Hey, here's my magnet. It's like a mushroom head feel. I think there's very even screws. There we go. Core flashing board. Yeah, it's just the one, not the right one. No. Hopefully this is it. Aluminum. Brass. Trash. Might be brass, but brass all the same. No magnetic. So with the aluminum. Another process a whole other day. Well, it's going to work. Those need to go back up with the tools. Need those. My 3 bites. I got up in Avon last weekend. Some guy had some aluminum canes, walking canes, and like an oxygen tank trolley thing, little cart carrier on the curb right by the thrift store. So I stopped, picked that up, talked to the guy for a minute. Okay, got any more? Walked to the garage, and I ended up with a bunch of stuff. He's like, help me take apart this workbench thing, this big cabinet workbench thing. You can have the vise. I'm like, yeah, I really don't need a vise right now. I don't really have a place to plant it. So then it just came down and he's like, hey, we got a most part. You can yank that vise out of there. It's yours. Like, well, I'll use it sometime. Here we are, 3 bites. And looky there, it's doing what it's supposed to. Pulling that thing down so I can get that out of there. There we go. the next piece I have is this. Let's see. I'm knocking everything over trying to do it. Oh, that's heavy. Here we go. It's working. Got this whole place acting like a big freaking channel lock. There we go. Not the way most people would have done it, but it got it done. Sweet. Got it. So let's see. Put these tools away and I'll weigh at least that brass up. Some little bits and pieces here and there. The doorknobs I couldn't completely get apart. That's mostly aluminum, went in with aluminum, even with a little bit of brass and steel. I think I got pretty much everything else besides the breakers. Where is the stuff for the Sun 16s? The 7/16s. That's 7/16s. Oh. Well, that didn't fucking go there. Oh, it's 11. Oh, there we go. So it's been going for a little over two and a half hours. Again, if I had the right tools, the right storage and sorting, I weighs 1 ounce. There we go. I got almost 3 pounds of brass, not including the actual wires. So just for the brass, not including the other stuff. This is 2 pounds, 14 ounces. It's another $6-7. Again, not including what else needs to be taken apart. So between the steel, the copper, and a few other things, what did I get from steel? Not a whole lot. There's probably $5, not even, probably $3 in steel. At least $6 in brass, if not probably closer to 7. Not a whole lot of copper, but there is some strippable copper, and that's probably another $10 in copper after I strip it down. A little, I got this keyboard, a few other little itsy bitsy things here and there. Not bad for about 2 hours outsourcing and basically 2 hours tearing it apart. $20 for 4 hours. That's $5-6 an hour, but that brass and the copper, they don't do it for the hours. I do it because it's free. And basically all I'm using are basic hand tools, nothing power. I want to try to keep it that way as long as I can. There is going to be a time when I'm going to need power tools for some stuff. But this is all micro stuff you can get with your own, use your own tools and stuff. Thanks. I just started salvaging, if you will. Earlier this year, it took like 4 months for me to approve a bunch of stuff, and a couple of weeks ago, I ended up with a whole bunch of lights, like hotel type lights, office, hallway type lights, the tubes. Anyhow, and that's when I started getting a whole bunch, and the rotation to go to the scrapyard had to have been more frequent, and it was more frequent. I have all the receipts right here. And the first time when I cashed out, I did cash out on brass, and I learned a little bit how they categorize stuff. Basically, all I do, I take in the steel, the insulated wire, the coated wire, and aluminum, for the most part. So there's 11 pounds of brass. And 6 pounds of copper. And since then, any other time I've cashed out, I didn't take any of that. I mean, the copper, I had like little flat sheet panels that were folded down. They were like 3 pounds for those. But I grabbed stuff from the trash, and at the price of what scrap value is now, as opposed to what it was a year ago. If you don't know me, I sell 100K a year of physical media on eBay. That's my primary. And I got it down so much where I spend 25, 30 hours a week going out buying stuff, getting pictures, listing it, putting it away, and then packaging it when it sells. It's 25 to 30 hours a week for me. What the fuck else am I going to do? Play video games? watch grass grow, twiddle my thumbs, come up with a different color, make a different new number that nobody knows about. What else am I going to do? And I spent $400 in primarily just steel, aluminum, and insulated copper last month. The totality of what I cashed out was everything last month was when I cashed out, started on the 1st. It was my first time. And then all the other copper, I've got solid 1/2-inch copper rods over here. Circuit boards. You know, if you're still here, these boards right here that I just took apart that satellite dish, this is gold flashing boards. That's like $30 a pound. Now, granted, it's a 1/4 of an ounce, but I already have like 6 or 8 of these, and you just keep adding them up. And circuit board parts are worth money. And I got boxes of circuit boards down here that every once in a while I'll start slicing the small stuff off. IC chips. These IC chips right here. These are like $32 a pound. It takes a lot to really get your money's worth, but as opposed to trash or as opposed to just selling a board for 50 cents a pound, you can cut that stuff off. There's some gold chips, gold cards, some sterling, gold stuff in there, other valuable little things, these little oscillator clocks right here, little crystal oscillators. Those are like $4 a pound. I mean, it takes a lot to get there, but it's better than 50 cents a pound for the board. And all you do is take your pliers, go, and it pops right off. That's gold right there. That's pure gold. So, yeah, I just started, and the stuff where I'm at and how frequently I can find it. I should go in there. I had this flattened out where all these could sit on this kind of evenly, close enough. How do you find cool old things like this? Then, not including the stuff I found. I have a couple iPods that are $100 each as parts. An iPhone 8, no, 6. That's like $100. An iPad down here, that's like, those are all parts not working. Some Disney license plates that are probably $50, $60. Some old vintage car stereos that if they were near very good and above are easily $200. The Pioneer one. And the Fujitsu 10 in the trash. And I'm just going to sell those as parts not working. Let alone the change that I found. Let alone the other stuff that I found. I probably found, well, I know I found at least $5 because I found $5 beyond the dumpster. So there's that. Probably another $5 in change. It's not just selling the metals. That's for sure. That's what I've learned. And for me, all this stuff is right around the corner. Literally, I don't travel any more than a mile away from here to go to the dumpsters that are around here. I really hope I don't find more of those lights tomorrow because it's a lot of work. But I find another dumpster full. It's another 10 hours, at least 10 hours of work, at least. But it's $200, if not more. And just steel and brass and copper and wire. So we take that out, we take out the trash, and that's it. And if I kept the aluminum cans, that's probably another $20 I just gave the neighbor. I take the tabs off and I just give them the cans. So you can see on how quick steel and everything else would add up. Plus, I'm a nice guy. And then I don't know about and there are other remotes that I found that are somebody gave me when I went and bought a bunch of disc media. They gave me a bunch of like routers that all had really good circuit boards, some other like steel and transformers, and a whole box of remotes. A bunch of these down here are remotes for that, but there's a like $100 remote for a Brandt's TV. I have one. Not in the best condition. Doesn't have a battery back, but no one else has one listed. I could probably still get $50 for that. I'm not trying to sell, a lot of this. House number 1. Don't know, but I don't know what this remote is. So salvage, yeah, indeed. Let me turn this down. Really doesn't sound like it's turned down. So if you're new here, so that actually I have a YouTube post about the little audio equipment I got, and then I also have a Yamaha, or not a Yamaha, an Onkyo Integra cassette deck I bought for $25. Parts not working are like $300. The T-Ock Tascam big studio recording tape deck. I find this stuff, but this CD is playing on a dead-end CD player through a Nakamichi Receiver 2 amp. That volume is set to maybe a quarter of 1, and it's loud. VCRs, and then we'll kind of wrap this one up. So now it's getting to Juliana Theory, and I like this CD. I listen to it quite a bit. I don't deal a lot with VCRs. I can tell I have sold a lot of electronics. There are some better VCRs, ProScan, some good CNSUI and VCR recordables. If you ever find any of those that have a hard drive, you can take a tape, record it onto the hard drive, and then you can have it spun to a DVD. CNSUI, there's a couple other brands made them. The VCR DVD player ones can still typically get easily $100. Mitsubishi, Hitachi. If you like electronics brands, I have mentioned it in other videos and stuff. There's a YouTube channel called Famous Brands History, and he goes over a lot of pretty important electronics brands: Hitachi, Mitsubishi, Sony, Awa, Telefunken, TDK, Onkyo, Yamaha. I watched a bunch of them. Very informative. Well, I don't deal in a lot of those electronics things that much. Yeah, you could a basic line like a RCA or it's not Sound Design. I forget who it is. But there were some basic line VCRs that they were like £2 and they're still $50-$60 for sure. But the higher end, the heavier they are, chances are they're worth more. But the electronics that I have, that's a Nakamichi amp, a Denon CD player, and it just happened to be at another store I go to up the road from here in Northeast Ohio. I'm in Menor, just east of Cleveland by a couple towns. But he had that Nakamichi amp, which I was eyeballing for like 2 years. And I got that thing, and I have a T-Ock 10-band equalizer I haven't hooked up yet, a Yamaha dual cassette deck, which when I have like 10 cassettes, I'll hook that up, and I'll play that so I can test the cassettes. Akai, I have a nice Akai turntable. What else is on? There's like three really good audio pieces underneath the table. But those are the ones I buy. I buy the ones that are like $200, around about that, because I don't want to fedaddle with a whole bunch of boxes and extra padding, and then the stuff can sit around. I just sold a cabinet DVD player that I have for like 4 years. Just sold it. But the higher end stuff, yeah, definitely worth a lot more. But that was, I'd have to check exactly. But that was not even, it probably wasn't even 2 hours. I went across the street, didn't find a whole lot there. And I went down to the route that I will take from here. I'll turn down a road, and then you can go left back into the commercial, the industrial commercial area, like the non-light commercial. General contractors and stuff like that, auto mechanic shop, things like that. There's like 40 dumpsters down there, so I went to the road right beside that where there was a generator installed. And like this right here, that's one breaker. And I mean, I've gotten panels that have like 6 of these, or they're 4, or there's 2 4 by 4 poles, 4 throws, and then a transformer that's like this big, on top of all the brass and everything else I get from there. The chunky copper. I mean, the copper they're using are in like tubes like this, and they'll cut it open. They'll take out that whole chunk of copper, and then there's little bits and pieces. I'm definitely not doing this full time, by far. It's just stuff right around the corner. That's where I'm born and raised, in Brimfield, right below that. I went to Kent State. Hold on a second. Yeah, I know that area very well. I grew up there. Yeah, I can tell you, like listening to music like this at there used to be an old coffee shop down there off of Lincoln and 59. It's called Brady's Cafe. And if you're I don't know how old you are, but if you're saying parents, if they're either my age or older and they're from Kent, they'll know about Brady's Cafe. And the Robin Hood Bar, that's no longer there. Speaking of, May 4th, coming up, May 4th, 1970, I spent a lot of time in Taylor Hall for a communications major. Where are you at? Or if you want me to continue to talk about an area that I know very, very quite well, and the odds that you just stumble into this stream, and I'm mentioning stuff about Northeast Ohio, and then you write something about Kent, and I'm like, yeah, I grew up right below there. I was just in Streetsboro the other day. Not Kent, but I was in Streetsboro. Well, I also go to thrift stores. Well, that's my primary, is go to thrift stores and I find physical media. I've been busy with this, but my sales have still been, payouts have still been about $1,000 a week, which is where I want them to be, where they need to be, where they have been for years. And there's a couple of thrift stores, like on Monday, I'll be headed out to Ashtabula. Yeah, it is. Very small. I can tell you about the sheets down on Fish Creek. That was there. I mean, we lived back in Indiana, or not Indiana. Well, I lived in Indian Valley for a while. That's actually how I ended up with this scar right there and this scar right there. From living in Indian Valley back in the 80s, early 80s, my parents got divorced. Yeah, there's actually another person who comes in here who's also a scrapper every once in a while. And just get to talking. I mentioned I'm up here. It's like, oh, I'm down in Medina County. So if you know of the area, Medina, basically, 2 counties over from Portage, because it goes Summit to Medina. Like, oh, interesting. And he's the one who's going to help me out with the boards, help me break open some of the stuff I don't have the power tools for. Some of it I could just let sit out in the sun and let that kind of tar cake out a bit, and then you can yank some of that wire out. But I'm all the way up to Menor now. Painesville, Eastlake, Willoughby, that area. Kirtland. If you know anything about Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints of the Mormons, John Smith's original, like their later on church, their founding church is right down in Clinton Hills. For Kirtland. James A. Garfield Museum across the corner. There used to be another place in Kent called Spellbinders, right at 59 and was it Franklin and Bethesda? It's called Spellbinders. It's right across from the courthouse. And then right beside the police department was a head shop, like a weed shop for stuff to get stuff for that. I have no idea if that's there anymore. Mike's Place Restaurant. I worked there. My sister worked there. Myself, my wife, we've been together for 21 years in July. We went there all the time when we lived out in Kent. I have a video about this time, actually April 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there. Oh, wow. And of inside Mike's Place. It was for my wife's birthday last year. We went there. All right, so yeah. Well, I'm a couple years older than you. So if your parents are from there, all those places I mentioned should ring a bell, especially Robin. And a lot of history from music there, like Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh is from Kent. Who else? I don't know if you know much of any Star Trek, but John Delancey was actually at Kent State, who plays Q in Star Trek. He was at Kent on May 4th. There's a handful of people from that general vicinity. But Wyoming, yeah, you're quite a ways away. Depending if you're a city or country. If you're country, you look outside and you got either, depending which way you face, you got flat land or you got mountains, depending on a little bit of elevation. Wyoming would be a great, I mean, it's not like super, super big, but it's not heavily populated at all. Like Nebraska.